Hey guys, it's DiCarlo with Team DGA 2025. I'm super stoked for this in the bag video. This is exciting for me because all these discs are kind of new to me still, so I'm excited to see how they change from now versus maybe in the fall, but so far I'm loving everything I got in there. Here's my 2025 in the bag. This year I'm putting with the Steady BLs. These are in stone plastic. When you switch over to a new bag, the most important thing is that you're comfortable with the putters, and I am very thankful that I feel really good about these. They go pretty straight and have no bead and are pretty glidey. And compared to my shields from last year that I was putting with, these just I don't know why I didn't try these earlier. I have a lot of videos of me playing last week and I just keep making every putt and being like, why did I never try these out? And they're similar to when I very first started playing, I just had the DX AVR from the starter pack that everybody else did. And they almost just feel like a more sturdy, better feeling DX AVR. The throwing putter I'm going with is pretty much exactly the same as you can tell. It's the Steady BL in ice plastic instead of in stone plastic. This goes really straight. It's obviously more stable because it's in premium plastic, but it gives me a nice little bit of fade at the end. And if I throw it with no wind, it won't turn for me at all right now. I'm assuming once I beat this in a little bit, I'm gonna have a beat-in one and then a fresh one for one that goes a little bit to the right and one that goes very stable. The other throwing putter I have, which is kind of more of a mid-range almost, it's very truly approach in between the two, is the Breaker throwing putter / mid-range. It works great for my backhands into a headwind and does exactly what I want it to do. The next disc is the reason I switched DGA. This is my favorite disc of all time, the Quake. This one is in P-line, and this one's actually new to my bag. I had an old green shimmer SP run on one that I had in my bag for 5 years. It had probably over 2,000 throws on it, and it was always a disc that people knew me for. And it's weird when you have a connection where you're like, this is the disc that I need, and this is the only one that will work for me. And I've been sponsored by other manufacturers in the past, and every time I'm like, I need my Quake back in my bag. And starting to learn my whole DGA bag, it feels so much easier knowing this is going to be my go-to approach disc for everything. Anytime I'm inside 300, if I can throw my Quake, I will. I throw it, it's the only forehand, it's the only mid-range I really like to forehand. A lot of people like to forehand a zone or something slower, but I really I want to keep it simple. I want to forehand the same disc every time. I mean, this is what it does for that. And then also I will throw it backhand, and I can throw it backhand maybe 330, 340. It pushes out farther than a zone or a slower approach disc like that will do because it being a 5-speed and having a little bit of straightness to it, but it also will never wobble and it will never turn. And it will just do exactly what I want it to do. And this is probably my favorite disc of all time. The next disc is brand new to me, the Rift. This is a mid-range that gives me a little bit of turn. It does exactly what I want it to do out of the box, and I've been really impressed that how far it goes. So far, I've been able to throw this over 360 already, and that's pretty uncommon for me. I'm not the biggest thrower, but being able to throw mid-ranges farther than 350 was never really something that I comfortably did, and now I can, which is awesome. The next disc, I don't know if this is going to stay in the bag, but this is one of the more unique DGA discs that I've gotten to throw, the Squall. The Squall is a 6-speed, and it really is a true hybrid mid-range or fairway driver. It gives me a little bit more turn and a little bit more fade, and it just goes a little bit farther than the Rift. I don't know if this is going to stay in my bag all year, but I am excited to keep trying this one out, and this was the first disc that I bought from another round when I signed with DGA, and I was like, how have I never heard about this system? I could easily just rock with 2 mid-ranges, just the Quake and the Rift in my bag all year, but we're gonna see. The next fairway drivers, the first one I have is the Bonsai. This is Nick Barr's old Bonsai that I picked up another round from the used bin, and I've tried out some other Bonsais, and this one's a little bit more stable. This gives me a little bit of turn, and then a very consistent fade at the end, and goes probably 370, does what I want it to do. And then the next disc is the Pipeline. This one I've been pretty excited about. This is kind of the bread and butter, slight turnover fairway driver. This one I can probably throw like 400 feet if I have an open field and really hit it hard. And it just gives me a really consistent slow turn and then maybe a tiny bit of fade out at the end, but I can really keep it turning the whole way if I want to. Like at Roy G, this is the disc that I'm throwing on like 7 different holes. The next one is my overstable 9-speed. This is an Avalanche, an Andrew Marweed Tour Series. Avalanches historically are very stable. This one is a little bit gentler. It'll give me a tiny bit of flip up and some headwind, but it's still very stable. I just like it because it's a little bit more workable than the really beefcake Avalanches that like are going to give me a huge skip and just feel a little bit harder to control. Then this is kind of an in-between fairway driver and distance driver, the Rogue. This kind of does the shots that are a little bit shorter than the distance drivers, but I want a little bit more distance in my pipeline. And this is a disc that I'm interested. This disc might come out of the bag or it might become a favorite. It's one of those like kind of in-betweeners that I am excited to play with and figure out more, but I don't really know yet what's going to happen. All right, that's it for fairway drivers, and then on to distance drivers. I have 2 forces in the bag. These are going to be used for like overstable 12-speed shots, throwing into headwinds, really windy days, or just needing a long hyzer. This one's a little bit more stable and this one's a little bit more workable, but both of them are pretty stable. The Hurricanes, I think, are going to be my bread and butter distance drivers this year. They give me a little bit of turn out of the box or like a little bit of a flippier wraith, and they just kind of do exactly what I want a distance driver to do. I have this blue one, which is a little bit flippier, and this purplish one that's a little bit more stable, but they both have a little bit of turn, and then this one just holds the turn for a little bit longer. I'm throwing these in PL or Proline plastic because I like the dome on them a little bit more. I'm interested in exploring some of the other plastics with the Hurricanes too, but these are what I'm rocking with right now. And then the next disc I have is the Katrina Allen Proto Driver. I don't think we have a name for this one yet, but when I picked this up, I got this disc in November when it seemed like I might sign with DGA and I wanted to try this new one out. I was so impressed with this disc. This is probably the disc I've been most excited about in terms of drivers, besides the fact that I get to throw my Quake again, which I obviously love. But this disc is very flippy, but it also handles torque, which is something that is unique. Like this is not going to be a max distance backhand disc for me because it's a little bit too flippy, but it is going to be a max distance forehand disc. And it's hard to find a truly like flippy disc that also you can grip on a forehand and it will not wobble. And because of that, this has been really cool, and I've been loving throwing this on all of my forehand shots. Then the last disc in my bag is a Hypercane. This is the Cole Redolin Ledgestone commemorative disc. The Hypercane is very stable, and this is going to be used for my like longest and most overstable like headwind shots, and just when I need to really rip on something and I know there's nothing that can go wrong, it's going to fade out and it's going to be consistent. And that's the last disc in my bag. In terms of other stuff in my bag, I have the new Squatch bag here. I literally just picked it up at another round. It already feels really good. And then other than that, I have my old shirt that I always wear that you probably see me in every one of my videos when it's cold weather and the thing is falling apart and I need a new one. And then I have some other fun stuff in here too. I have a water bottle. This is more full than my water bottle normally is. People tell you that I show up to the course and my water bottle is about that full. And that's just how I roll. Yes, I have my Banjo water bottle. This one Banjo licks off of, so I have to fill it up with a drinking fountain too. Hopefully you guys will see Banjo a lot in this video. He's a favorite. And then I have my rangefinder, but I really need to start wearing my glasses. You've seen my glasses in maybe 1 or 2 videos, but until I start wearing my glasses more, I lean way too heavily on this. And then I have tape because my fingers are always bleeding. And I have a Sharpie because I always forget to write my names on my discs. Ooh, some fruit snacks. And my girlfriend hates that I take these, but these are her like morning snack things, these Velveeta Crunch. Kind of good. I think that you can get them here too. And I think that's pretty much all I got. More tape, more food. I have this towel over here, my another round towel. It's got my name on it and my PDGA number. And it's pretty big, did all my drying stuff. All right, thanks for watching. That was my 2025 in the bag. I want to give a special thanks to all my sponsors, Cherie Coffee and Flowers, Loot Bags, Another Round Austin, and then the biggest thanks to DGA. I'm super excited to be throwing all of my favorite molds, and it's a dream come true. And hopefully I'll see you guys out of the course, and you'll see me at Roy, you'll see me with Mr. Banj, and you'll see me all around Austin. Thanks for watching.
Hey, watch this. You can throw this? Look how it's building.
I believe that is it.